Today marking 3 years since Mam Winnie Madikizela-Mandela passed away. She's remembered as the mother of the nation, as a fearless freedom fighter against the apartheid regime. The ANC is commemorating the 3-year anniversary of her passing with a special wreath-laying ceremony at her gravesite in Johannesburg this morning. In fact, at around 7 o'clock this morning, we'll take the keynote address by President Sello Hatang live. In the meantime, CEO of the Nelson Mandela Foundation, Sello Hatang, joins us now for more on what this day means to you, sir. A very good morning to you, Sello. It's great to have you with us on the show this early in the morning on a Good Friday. It's such a strange thing when we think about commemorating 3 years since the passing of Mam Winnie Madikizela-Mandela. It's been such a quick 3 years, but it's been so incredibly long as well.
Yeah, good morning, Michelle, and thank you very much for this opportunity. I think for us as the foundation, it serves as a reminder that we owe those legacies a lot, that we must never forget that those people like Mam Winnie sacrificed a lot for us to be where we are. And in fact, it's true to say that 3 years just flew past because a lot has happened since those 3 years. One remembers that you look back at the 3 years and you ask yourself, have we actually become a better nation? As we mark the 25th anniversary of the Constitution, for example, have we done enough for the Constitution to become, and our democracy to become more and more inclusive?
And we also, you know, around sort of the last few months or so, we were commemorating the passing of aparthied and the legacies of these two giants in South Africa's history and democracy, so intricately intertwined as well.
In fact, it was on Sunday that we were marking the anniversary of the passing of Mr. K. And at that anniversary, we were reminded again that our democracy is being shaken again, like it has been tested many times before, except this time that those who are testing it are becoming more and more emboldened to do so, that they can even just challenge even just the basics of our Constitution, the basics of the fabric of our democracy. And I think they are emboldened because they know that those who feel that democracy has not worked for them are likely to then raise their hands to stand up against what is a legitimate government, a legitimate system of governance. And I think it's important that as we mark these anniversaries, the anniversary of the passing of Mr. K, who was very strongly against looting, who was very strongly against those who were trying to destroy our nation. Similarly, with Mam Winnie, who was a giver of life, one who tried her best to be embracing of those who she thought needed her help, those who were vulnerable. I told your producer that one of the memories I have is when I called on her when Palesa Madiba was lost and she went missing rather and couldn't be found. And Mam Winnie just got in her car immediately to go and see the family.
Sure.
She did those things, looked after those who were vulnerable. And I think we may long continue to do so as we remember these giants of our democracy.
I was just researching, you know, the exact date of the passing of aparthied, 28th of March, 2017. So separated in years, but almost to the day, the passing of these two giants in our country's democracy. Sello, you know, have you been able to interact with the Mandela family of late, given that they are now commemorating the 3rd year since the passing of their matriarch, of someone who was not only mother to them, but mother to the nation, but also the passing of Zinzi Mandela that happened at such a difficult time last year, almost at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, I haven't reached out to them today, but I will be doing so. Hopefully, I'll be able to speak to Sizeni later today, because this moment is a reminder again that the Mandela family lost hugely. But not only did they lose a matriarch of the family, and someone like Zinzi also was lost, that we actually all lost. We lost people who stood up. You'd remember that a couple of years before she passed on, Zinzi was very strongly against the dispossession that she was saying those who have been dispossessed must be given back what legitimately belongs to them. And I think if we are to make our democracy work, if we are to make our constitution work, we must remind ourselves of those words, until such time that those who lost out are given what belongs to them. We are lost as a nation.
Sure. The foundation itself, how is it marking the legacy of Winnie Madikizela-Mandela? I understand the foundation's still in the process of getting together the archives, the launch hopefully happening soon?
Well, we're really lucky that the Mandela family decided to lodge the archive of Mam Winnie with us, and we are in the process of processing those, and once processed, would be able to then, hopefully with the family, launch so that people can access that rich legacy that's there. And I think, again, they remind us as a family that the Mandela family sacrificed a lot for us to be where we are. And if we are, as a nation, to forget that legacy, we will be doomed, because it's through archive that we can then study how a lot happened, how our country was built, on whose shoulders this country was built. And one is hopeful that with this archive, we'll learn new dimensions to the legacy of Mam Winnie, and that we will be able to learn more about the sacrifices that she made, that we'll be able to learn more about how to build this country to be a better country that they actually fought for and tried their best to make sure that it becomes a better nation for those who are vulnerable.
Yeah. And Sello, you know, before we let you go, the Brantford House in the Free State, that was meant to also play a role in, as you say, remembering the legacy of Winnie Madikizela-Mandela. The last we heard about that was that the home was being turned into a museum. Do you perhaps know what the latest is on that score?
Unfortunately not. That was a project that the government had taken on, and we are hoping that that will happen sometime soon, because our heritage relies on sites. It relies on documents. It relies not just on institutions. And I'm hoping that sites of remembrance will continue to be memorialized, so that those who are still to be born find them in a state that they can then be able to not only enjoy them, but actually learn about the past that we have gone through.
Yeah, learn and never forget. Sello Hatang, it's always a great pleasure talking to you. He's the CEO of the Nelson Mandela Foundation, joining us.